down into the shaft. Behind me is my buddy for the evening. This is Tanisha, and we're going to go down this hole here. We're going to do a trip down into what is known as the number 3 level, or the hauling load level. Go down this hole to start with, and hopefully see you at the other end of the hole and in the mine. I don't sound that enthusiastic in my voice, probably a bit tired today, but I'll do my best for you. The roof here is okay. Light on. Ways we can get into the park now. You're not allowed in here officially. As I'm not coming in officially, that's fine. Stoked out. Goes back to surface. Not that far really. Nice mineralisation here on the walls. And let's get down to the end of here and I'll show you where I have to go. This is Kneebones cutting. I'm going to have to go down onto the floor here, but first of all there's a couple of bolts in the wall, one there. I'm going to clip my rope onto that just to offset it and get myself down this short pitch, and I'll see you soon. Okay, here I am, got my Kneebones cutting. A reasonable size hole. I'm level with the level 3 here, but below my feet it goes down to, we think, level 5, but we're not sure. The plans aren't brilliant. Just go around this way, just to show you where I come in from. There's the viewing point into Kneebones. And I come in down this hole, down that small way there. Got a few holes here, one here, possibly number 4 level, probably, we don't know. This is just a cut to hold some wood in really. Okay, let's get excited now. This is the best part of all these trips, all this messing about with ropes and rubbish. Let's go underground. It's quite wet in here eventually. It's going to be waist deep to start with. Not going to worry me too much. When I say too much, that's because if it gets deeper than waist deep, I'm really in the poo. So, I'm going to go through this hole here. You have to go feet first. So as you can see, the other side is water. The camera here. Hoping, of course, it won't fall over. And let's go in. So, feet first. This is where your bits get cold very quickly. If I gurn, because the water's cold. Yeah, a bit cold today, but never mind. Here we are. Part number 3. Into the mine. Going this way, I already know there's a collapse down there, and the roof is not particularly brilliant. See where the water level potentially can get. The line on the side here. This water is only held back because of the collapse. Normally, without the collapse, this would be There'll be wellies if you're lucky. So, let's wander on. Up ahead we can see what is known as the Coffer Dam, or the Dutch Dam. The water's getting shallower now. That's the dam that was put into place after there was a massive flood here many years ago, where a number of levels collapsed above. The ceiling, a bit of a false ceiling here. They're obviously concerned a bit about rock falling in this area. That's why I'm going to walk on a bit quicker now, because I don't particularly want it to fall on my head. And we can pick up the narrow gauge track now. We've got the trains that used to come out with the ore, or the rock bearing ore. And I'm going to go through this grated section. As you can see, it's been cut out so we can go through. Up here, this is a manway, or was a manway, to the levels above. These places aren't a great place to stand, as you can tell. I won't be standing here long. There is a false floor up there, and you just don't know when those things are going to fall on your head. So like I said, I'm going to go through here. There's a lot of draft, obviously, because of the Venturi effect from this spun tunnel, man-made. I shall see you at the other side. Right, I'm through the big pipe, and Tanisha's going to follow me now. There's nothing posh about this. We just have to drag ourselves through the hole. The mine feels happy tonight in comparison to the other night. Don't know what that is, but hey, there we go. And I mean happy, I mean it doesn't feel too hostile. Whereas the other night I was in here, it felt particularly hostile for some reason. I'm walking backwards, and hopefully we won't get a picture of the ceiling, because that means, Naish, don't throw that in the water, okay? Get yourself out first and then pick your bag up. So, let's see which way Tanisha does this. Mrs. Bendy Body. I'm blinding her a bit with a big light here, but hey ho, she should get through. Yeah. There we go, get her bag and then we can go. Good stuff. Well done, Nish, just come on, walk by mate. Just walk by me. Just walk by, it's fine. There we go, that's the pipe section. Okay, I'm a little bit further along the Havana level now. At this second junction, I'm going to turn right here and then I'll come back and go up the other passage to show you something there. As I walk up this passage on the right, we're going to hear some noise. Quite interesting because this potentially is where the last catastrophic flood came from. The floor doesn't seem that filled with rock, so I suppose the amount of rock that came through, it just scoured everything out. And I'm just ducking down a bit here. Passage here is about, I don't know, 5'6" tall. It goes back to 5 foot 11.5 inches. Just remember the half inch. In this area here, you may or may not be able to hear me. This is an area of Cousin Jack shoots. We go down through here. The Cousin Jack chute was used to get the load from high up in the system back down into the trains at this end. This passage goes on to Underhaven mine and stops. It doesn't really join the mine. This load here sooner or later will collapse, I have no doubt, just through the sheer weight on these beams. If it does, it's going to hurt. Up here we have a manway, and that takes us up into the level above, so the miners can just get between one level and another without a problem. Let's go back through here. So as you can see, contrary to popular belief, there's very few crawl places in these mines that you have to go. So all those people out there that are frightened of being underground, just turn your light off in your hallway and walk around. That's what it's like. And then put a hand torch on, and that's what it's like now. Along here, quite a grey passage here. A lot of very fine silt on the floor. Bit of railway tracking on our right there. I know where this goes. It goes to an old incline. The floor's okay here, but you still walk on the right or left side of these floors, just in case. Another piece of railway tracking. Little side passage. Hammer cut, I expect. Certainly not blasted. I'll walk along a bit here. And just here is one of a couple of inclines in the mine that don't go anywhere. They just went down to try and find lode and apparently didn't find anything. The steel ring in the middle, roller in the middle, that was to take the haul cable over to stop it digging into the ground or digging into the tracking, but it doesn't go anywhere. I suppose a diver might like to go down there because the water would be very clear. This particular passage has got quite a grey sort of feeling to it, and it feels dead, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wander back down to the main passage and see you then. Okay, I've come to another junction now. Now this is an unusual junction. It's a track section where the track goes around in a large circle. So it either goes in by here and out by there, or vice versa. In the middle is one of the large trucks that would have been hauled through here, originally by horse. We're going to wander on down the left passage here, because just here is a place of interest, really. So you can see there's some large concrete sections here. So I'm assuming, because it doesn't tell me, there would have been a roof over here at some point, and probably the reason for the roof being over here is what I'm about to show you now. This. Where the picture is now is a fourth floor, literally into the next level, or part level, not to number 2 level. You can see the vein in the quartzite there, followed through. Over here, more backfill, big rock, and then there's ways all the way up through here. The stem poles hold the 2 walls apart, by the way, so if there aren't any, it's probably not a good place to stand for too long. That does continue on the opposite side of this track, which hopefully I'll show you if I remember. Okay, just in front of us, on the right side, there's a significant area of this particular mine. It's called Park Shaft. It's just on our right here. The Park Shaft goes down to the deeper levels in the mine, which is about 10 levels below us. So we're probably talking about 560, 600 feet down this shaft goes. What I'm going to do is walk along the pipes here. This is where you have to be a little bit careful that you don't disturb too much, because we don't know what the floor is like here, and potentially there could be a fourth floor somewhere. So I'm going to walk along the pipe here and see what I can see for you. This is a manway and a loading level, or a loading chute here, from the upper levels in the mine. So we're all good so far, along the pipe. In a yellow suit like Banana Man. And down here, oops, don't want to fall in this head first really. Down here is Park Shaft. You can see the manway ladder going down, hopefully. And this stuff that looks like wire, that's a fungi growing out of the wood. That doesn't mean it's a happy person. Pun, if you didn't get it. It's passed in a pipe, main beam, and a ladderway going up here. This ladderway just goes into part of the hauling section of the mine. We look up over the top, we can see some beams, and we can see some cross members up there, where some type of winching system would have been. I've walked across the beam in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom method, I wouldn't tell everybody to do that, but it was fun at the time. Over here we have a chute that comes down and comes into this little hallway here. Now I'm just going to walk across the head of this shaft, hopefully the thing doesn't collapse on me, and have a look at what we got here. Okay, so there you go. That would have been a chute. There's a little wheel there from part of the hauling system up inside there. Railway tracking, some wriggly tin would have been covered over as a bit of a little room, I suppose, to protect the liners from any small bits that fell down. And I'll go back across and back towards Tanisha, hopefully without falling in. So, across here towards Tanisha. Tanisha, can you hold that green and yellow bag the right way up, mate, so nothing falls out of it? The other way, hold it so the opening on that bag faces upwards. Cheers, honey. Tap. There is nothing in it, but that's not the point. If there was, it would be in the water, which probably wouldn't be ideal. Okay, so from Park Shaft, we head on down the level here. This is known as the shale level, Park number 3, the loading level area here, which again is of interest. This is a Cousin Jack chute. It's the Cornish tin mining idea. Unusual, this one, in as much as it's steel lined, so the ore, or the ore bearing rock or rock, would have been dropped from quite a height, and I can tell you it's approximately 30 feet from the top of this chute up a vertical shaft. Many years ago I climbed it, bolted it, and that's why we have a rope in here now. Been changed a few times though. The other thing of significance, of course, is the reinforced concrete wall that it sits on, so that tells you that a lot of weight is being dropped. Pipes on the side of the wall, coincidentally, they're for pressure. They will take pressure into the drill bits, and down here on the end of this pipe you'll find a tap. Tap there, and there's a little junction on there. That's where these things would be all the way along, and that's where they could plug the drills in, the pressure drills, air pressure that is, and work away. Up here, this tank changes the low pressure to high pressure. So it'll come in, there's a few of these around the mine, it'll come in on a large bore pipe, go into the tank, it'll then go out on a small bore pipe. A lot of the piping's been taken out these days, of course, for scrap many years ago when the mine closed. And on this junction we have the principal load, and that's the out-by railway, and that's the way we'll go out eventually. Over here, this is one of 2 levels in this mine that were dug at an angle to have a look to see if there's anything further down, and unfortunately there wasn't. If we look up in this area though, we can see the load that they followed. That's the load line all the way up there, out to there and beyond, and it goes for about 5,000 or 6,000 feet. And that's how thick the lead line was. Very productive, this mine, in its time. Wander down the end of this track, keep it on the track line, don't want to get too close to the edge. And just down here we can look into this incline level. Like I said, it didn't go anywhere. You can see all the fungi growing, and you can see at the top of the track, without me falling over that is, at the top of the track here there's one of these little drums that would put the cable on to stop it digging into the ground. And even they thought of health and safety in these days. Just in front of me, I'll put my hand out here. This is your health and safety barrier. And it still works to a point. Pipes going down to take pressure into the drills, and a rail guard to protect. You can see they've made an attempt here to stop this hanging wall collapsing, so they put this heavy steel in and these stemples, as they're known, or beams in. Up here we have a stempled ceiling. That would have had beaming all the way across for the men to stand on, and that's how they slowly work up into the mine. This end here, all collapsed. We're not going to go that way, although there's some little interesting bits hanging about, but let's just not get involved in that sort of area. For exploring it would be good, but for going underground with my granddaughter today, she doesn't have the experience to be able to make a decision which bit is and which bit isn't dangerous. Not saying she's stupid, that's saying I'm looking after her. So, looking down into this hole again. Okay. Just walk past Tanisha, and we'll go and, come on Nish, let's go and look at somewhere else. Right, I'm right on the principal lode now. This is the lode that most of the ore would have come out of. There are some little side passages in places, but not too many. Big bore pipe going down again. That's taking air pressure in deeper into the mine. We're going to maybe go on a bit here today, so I can show Tanisha another little area. Up in here, just hanging there, just waiting for the unexpected to stand here like I am, for it to fall on. You can see the width of the lode above me, and that goes up 180 feet to the number 2 level. Okay, we've moved along the principal lode a short way, and we come to a little crosscut here, and I'm going to show you one of the dangers, or another danger in the mine. A crosscut meaning a passage one way and a passage the other. You can see the pipe. This is what mine explorers would crawl along, normally unroped. Personally, I'd rather put some bolts in the wall and use that, because this doesn't really go anywhere. However, if you make a mistake here, you'll end up in that flooded shaft, and that would hurt. You could get out of it, so it's not death or glory, but it would certainly be quite difficult to climb back out. Right, so we'll go this way, Nish, let's go. Back in the principal lode, still following this massive pipe. Let Tanisha just wander on down a bit, she's quite safe. My daughter walked in these sort of places when she was 8 years old on her own. By the way, she's supposed to be doing her GCSEs. English, maths, all that sort of stuff. But, hey, life's worth living. Let's do a bit of this, then we can go back and do our GCSEs. See you soon. Okay, right, the principal lode now back into the loop system. On the right here, it's one of the ore carts that we passed on the way in. About half a ton one of these things holds. It would have been on wheels obviously in its time, but big old heavy units made of cast iron probably. That's what they look like anyway. Okay, we're going to wander down and we're going to walk out the mine. Hopefully let's give you a little bit of an insight to at least one mine in the Gwydir Forest. Okay, that's the end of the tour for you. I'm just going to put my hands away because a bit of tear behind now. I have to leave the granddaughter behind.
Okay, so I've been underground with my granddad. It's time for me to go out my own while he goes back to work. Bye! Bye.